Well, he is the new man in charge of leading the Badger football team. Tonight, our Susan Siman has a conversation with head coach Gary Andersen and his wife, Stacey. Hey, Susan.
Hi, Eric. When it was announced 4 months ago that Gary Andersen would replace Brett Bielema, all most Badger fans knew about the coach from Utah State was that he'd been to Camp Randall once before and almost won here. Turns out, Gary and Stacey Andersen are quite a story. There is no better coming out party than the sights and sounds of game day at Camp Randall.
And I do consider myself a player's coach, and I always put the kids first.
At the spring game, head coach Gary Andersen walked onto the field with little fanfare. His entourage, a 10-year-old boy from the American Family Children's Hospital. It tells you a lot about the new man on campus. If you had to describe your coaching philosophy in one word, what would you say?
Loyal.
That's a good one.
Yeah, driven.
Maybe unconventional, too?
Yeah, we're definitely, I'm not afraid to try new things.
Gary is making a memorable first impression in Madison. He's opened practices to the public for the first time and opened his home to his players.
I consider ourselves, outside parents, if you will, for these kids. And some of them will let you in their lives more than others. And the ones that need to have us, we're going to be there for them.
The we in Team Andersen is Gary's wife, Stacey.
There are quite a few boxes that are in the closets.
It's a familiar place to be for a coach's wife. Stacey's moved her family 10 times. She and Gary picked up a helmet at each stop they've made in their 29 years together.
We both grew up about 2 miles right in the middle of Salt Lake City. We grew up about 2 miles away from each other.
Really?
Yep. Met when we were basically 16 and dated all through high school. And I hung in there and got her to marry me, and away we go.
What was your first impression of him?
Oh, he got me sent home. Well, we started working together at a hamburger joint. Grand opening night, he got me sent home because he knocked the mop bucket water over.
It's debatable.
And they sent me home because he told them that I did it. So, yes.
The Andersens have 3 grown sons who are all following in their father's footsteps.
That's Hagen. That's the oldest twin.
And Chasen.
Yep, that's Jason on the far right.
And Keegan.
And then Keegan, the oldest. So.
What a beautiful family you have. Gary was coaching Keegan at Utah State when he got a call that would change everyone's lives.
I hung up the phone with Coach Alvarez. He said, was that Wisconsin? And I said, yeah. And he says, Dad, you're going to go to Wisconsin. And we had just discussed it a week before that we weren't going anywhere.
Stacey, had you ever been to Wisconsin before this?
I had not, no.
So what did you think? How were you feeling about it?
Well, I kept thinking, okay, we were all going to stay. We were all going to stay together. But I knew deep down that this one was it, and that it would be hard for him to turn it down.
An exciting decision for a coach was a difficult one for a mom.
And that this was where we were supposed to go. It was just as bad as I wanted to stay together. I knew.
The thing that made it for me was when she was in the car and she looked at me and she said, just go. I know what you want to do, and we're not going to hold you back on this one. And so
luckily for the Andersens, their nest is far from empty. So these are your other 2 children.
These are my children, yeah.
Who is this?
This is Aggie, and she is 3.
Hello, beautiful girl.
And she's my only girl. This is Blue. He's a puppy, just turned a year old.
Wow.
They're more important than I am in the house.
Yes.
I know my spot.
Yeah.
Stacey drove the dogs from Utah to Madison in the back of a van. You need to name him Ron.
Ron Dane.
Ron Dane.
I like it. It's good.
That can be his unofficial nickname.
That would be good for him.
What are you most looking forward to about being in Madison?
It just feels like it's going to be very exciting. It's not going to be a dull moment. I'm excited for the fans.
We're normal. So today, we'll go to Costco and we'll hang out in Sam's Club. I love it. It's my favorite place to go. And, go buy some fertilizer for the grass, and that's who we like to be.
They are so down to earth. He is just a regular guy. Gary guided his Utah State Aggies to their first bowl victory in 19 years. Will that translate here? Will he be successful here? Well, that part of the story remains unwritten. The Andersons, though, are humbled to have this opportunity, and they're looking forward to experiencing everything Madison has to offer. As a matter of fact, Eric, Gary and Stacey celebrated their 29th wedding anniversary on Saturday. And guess what they did?
Happy anniversary.
Crazy legs.
Fertilized.
Crazy legs.
I thought you were going to say they fertilized the grass.
That too, and then they went to Crazy Legs.
Well, we welcome Stacey and Gary both. Stacey especially. These coaches' wives
Can you imagine?
make so many sacrifices.
Yep, leaving your boys. You have two boys.
Yeah,
You can imagine what that's
can't
like.
imagine. But the greatest sacrifice of all, two Great Danes.
Yeah.
1,300 miles in the
Can
back
you
of
imagine
it,
that?
or however many miles it is. It's
gonna be a fun
She
fall.
is a saint.
gonna
Look
be
forward
a
to
fun
it.
fall.
And welcome to Madison,
Yeah.
to the Andersen family. Susan, great story. Thanks.
You're welcome.